Hello, everyone, and welcome to Johnny and Samfan's podcast. I don't know if I should actually call it a 30-minute podcast by now, but we'll just let it be like this. This is the third episode, and we're guested by Carina / Nuppe. Welcome.
Hello.
Feels
Thank you.
good to have you here. This is the aforementioned After Hours episode that we mentioned last episode. So it's going to be some feisty topics. We'll see where it takes it. Maybe there's even some jazz going on in the background. It all depends on how lazy I am in post or not. So you'll have to listen and you'll find out. I mean, it's pretty obvious. You can hear it or not, but whatever. So we're gonna go through a list of questions and we'll branch out from those and see where that takes us.
Before you start, I think you telling everyone that you might add jazz is now gonna. You set yourself up if you don't now add the jazz, people are gonna think you're lazy.
Yeah, I mean,
so we could have just said no jazz, and we could have dodged this. But
I'm actually fine with them knowing that I didn't have the effort.
It's your burden to bear, not mine. So
it's fine. I'll probably add it, so it should be all good.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'll just rip my hair.
Okay, we're losing time.
Yeah, yeah. Oh no. Okay, this first one isn't too feisty, but what did you think of us when you first met us?
Well, I instantly liked both of you. We had fun right away. Me and Sanfan has been playing a long time together. I don't know how many. Has it been a year and a half or something?
It's probably more than that actually. Because I remember we played. This is gonna sound super specific, but I know that we played somewhere in the summer of 2017.
Yeah, that was the summer where when I was hurt in my knee and I played all the time.
Well, that makes sense then.
and Johnny has just kind of met, so.
Yeah, it was in a gather.
Yeah.
You're kind of new to the group still. You're just 1 year into it or something.
Wow, almost.
You're the baby.
Yeah.
You're not even a year, right? Is it?
It'd be a year, I guess. I mean, if we're talking properly integrated, it's probably 7 or 8 months. But I met Evie in December last year, so.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you how you actually got into the group, but then I remembered you watched Evie's stream and you just commented or something, right?
Well, yeah, I had Twitch gave people with Prime a load of bits, and instead of giving it to some I thought I'd give it to some small time streamer. So I looked CS at first, and then I thought I do Norwegian, so I'll find a Norwegian one. There was only 5. I couldn't give it to 2 of them because they were didn't have enough followers and stuff. And the other 2 people didn't really respond to me, but Evie did. And I watched her a bit, I thought she was funny, and then she asked if I wanted to join at one point, and played sometimes.
I feel wasn't I one of the first that you actually started playing with though? Because we were left together in TeamSpeak and then we just hit it off.
What was it? So I got invited to a game, and then everyone, because I used to just occasionally play a little, but I didn't say a lot because I don't really say a lot when I don't know people, and me and Geddy were talking, and then you joined, and then Geddy left, and we were looking at places in Sweden and stuff on Google Maps, and then we played Ring of Elysium and stuff. So
looking at places on Google Maps is actually what I usually do if I'm in a Skype call or something.
Yeah.
I just randomly go into Google Maps and look at places. I don't know, maybe I'm too cheap to travel and I just make a substitute or something. But that's what I do.
But and what I remember when I met Nuppe was in a gather, because I was in Dust 2, and then I don't know.
Yeah,
I remember having a hard time with separating Nuppe and Anita at first.
Oh,
right.
Really?
Yeah, it was mostly because there was a lot of Norwegian being spoken, and then when you're not super used to the voices and you can't really tell the difference, then it was because of that, I think.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
So, yeah. And I think I never played with you at the same time, so I never got the chance to distinguish between you. I just played for a period with you, and then I played a period with Anita, and then back and forth. So I would occasionally say the wrong name. It'd be kind of awkward, but it worked out, so it's all good.
I've never noticed.
Yeah, that's good. Maybe I just called her a bunch of times. She's like
Maybe.
sitting there all bitter. Oh, that motherfucker.
Oh my god. No, I never noticed, but maybe I didn't think of it at all. So yeah.
Maybe I was very great at disguising it. I just and then you didn't get the chance to even think about it.
I was so focused on the game, you know. Yeah.
Laser focused on getting those headshots.
Definitely.
So I guess we can return to the list. It's going from 0 to 100 here, so I'm gonna take a middle one, because you can obviously see the questions too, right, Nupa?
Yes, I had prepared some answers. I had to do that, so I didn't say something weird. I'm probably gonna do it anyway.
Is it okay for you if I switch up the order, or do you want me to follow the...
No, just switch it up and do your thing.
Because I'm just thinking that the next one would be a bit too much for like the first one, so we'll just go with the third one.
Okay.
Do you still have feelings for an ex?
I had to think quite hard of this question since I recently got single again.
Yeah.
And it's always confusing after a breakup, either if you broke it off or the other person did. But I don't think I have direct feelings for the person, but I think I have some thoughts of what could have been. You know, if things worked out and we were on the same page and wanted the same things in the future. I think of that sometimes, but I don't have the direct feelings anymore. Like, I care about the person, but I'm not in love with the person. So,
do you care more about like having that passion, or being like in the same place in life, like wanting the same things and stuff like that?
Definitely the second option, I guess, because since I'm getting older, I need some more stability. But of course, passion and the physics of it is still important, but it needs to be on an adult level, if I can say it like that.
Yeah,
like,
sure.
So, not direct feelings, but
I feel like
about
the younger you are, that doesn't really matter too much, but like the older you get, you start to like branch out and become so different to most people. Like, for every year you start to become more and more like special or whatever. Like, you've not gone through the same shit, and like when you're younger you basically had at least a similar like background. You grew up and then you like played at I don't know, sandbox and stuff like that. Like, everyone was doing that, but the older you are, the more like specific experience you have, and you change.
You do. And some people are ready earlier for like moving in together, getting kids, and start that chapter. And that's fine. But if the other person is not, it's not for me anything that I want to keep doing. So that's why I ended my last relationship as well. So, yeah.
I feel like so I grew up in a super small town, and when I go back there or just like look at posts on the internet, everyone else, not everyone, but a lot of them are already starting families and doing stuff like that. And I'm feeling that I'm way too young to do that yet. And I remember my mother used to say a long time ago that in these small towns there's nothing else to do, so they might as well start early. And that's why I don't know if it's true, but like, it makes sense to me. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I'm not taking this as a roast of all old people that I know, or like my old friends. I'm just gonna have a clarifying that family is great and all. I'm just not ready myself yet. It's gonna.
No, and it's like not like, I don't think you ever get ready. You just grow with it if it happens. But you have a picture in your mind of what you want, and you don't want to wait. I don't know. Just grow with it.
It has to come. I mean, it'll come to you as you go through it.
Yeah.
Nobody is ready from the start. Maybe if you worked as a kindergarten teacher for like 10 years or something, and all parts of it. I don't know, man, but still.
What?
Yeah.
I mean, then at least you'd be good at taking care of kids, is my logic.
Oh, right. So because if you'd been a kindergarten teacher for a long time, you'd want to take care of kids, or you mean you'd be ready for it?
Be ready for it.
I mean,
you get some education as to what.
I think, like, you know, kids can't be that hard to take care of. It's not like you have to pass the test. I mean, some people do. Well, I mean,
that sounds like the
the
recipe for a bad child.
The thing is, right? Well, what's kind of true is, like, there was a couple in America who, because they were both considered like mentally retarded, like clinically, they lost custody of their children, which is kind of sad. Even though they can, like, they were fine and there wasn't any, like, issues with it. It's just, I don't know, that was whereas America is just stupid. But I mean, like, I don't think. I don't know, I guess you say a kindergarten teacher might be more ready, but do you think kindergarten teachers do parenting, or they just kind of teach kindergarten people to exist?
I think they partly do.
Kindergartners.
I mean, I worked at a kindergarten, and basically what I used to do, I mean, I wasn't certified for it, I didn't have any education to it, and basically I just hanged out with kids all day.
But, like,
I'm
it's
just
kinda
gonna have to
different,
say somebody. Oh, that's sad. Evie just posted something in TeamSpeak, so maybe now people have heard that. It's just, never mind. Don't check your whatever you have close to you. Was just my TeamSpeak giving that sound.
Okay.
Okay, cool. I just had to make a clarification.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like we're drifting from being like after hours and all, like dark, moody parts of it. So let's just jump into the hardcore stuff again.
Okay.
Or again, we haven't even been there, so let's just go so we can get it to where we want it. So, Nupa,
Yeah.
the $1 million question. Just
Okay.
kidding. What's your favorite sex position?
Well, it really depends on my mood, but
Is that so?
can I get two?
Yeah, but you're gonna have to back up why then, like why it changes with mood.
Okay. If I'm in a very dominant mood,
Yeah.
I would like to be on top, so I can, choose the tempo and
Yeah.
And if
Just
I'm
like control in general.
yeah, correct. And if I want to be punished, I would like to do doggy. Yeah.
Man, I was not prepared for this
I
conversation.
feel like that is actually one of the most common ones. I mean, not
Yeah.
necessarily that because everyone knows that doggy is a common like position, but it's really. I feel like I've seen polls somewhere. I don't know where, but I remember that doggy is like one of the most popular ones. And I think that's why too, because it plays a lot on the roles of it, like the dominant versus submissive
Yeah.
role.
Definitely.
And it's also super easy to do, so you don't have to be qualified. I mean, to be fair, like, sex is nice, but it can be like a workout, and doggy is the easiest one. So if you're lazy, it works that way too. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, so I think that is one of two each mood, yeah. And well, I enjoy sex in general, either the position. It depends on who I'm with.
Do you like to mix it up and stuff like that? Like, where have you
Yeah.
had sex that is like a weird place?
Is that the question, Sampan?
Yes.
Okay.
It says,
so,
where is the strangest place you've had sex? That's-
Okay.
I'm
yeah.
mixing up the questions like where they go, so
Okay,
you're
it's
gonna
okay. I had to think a lot about this too, but I think the strangest one is in a locker room at my where my home court at the Humble team was.
Yeah. Is that basically like a turn on that you were close and could get caught, or did you just
Kinda,
not have any
yeah.
other place?
No, we lived together, so
Okay, lol.
we had another place we
Great.
could do it.
Where
But
was it
yeah.
closed then? Like, could somebody
Uh,
come and see?
Yes, they could come in, but it was after hours, so
Oh,
most
just
likely
like this?
Yes, just like this. So most likely not, but the twist in all this is that my dad was the janitor at
Ooh.
a place, yeah.
I mean, that is risky, I'm not gonna lie.
So that's probably the most strangest place. And
I mean, it could have been a completely different story if he actually caught you, then it would be,
yes, that would
strangest
be.
places to lose your relationship with your dad. No, I'm just kidding, but
I think he would survive though.
yeah,
But,
probably.
it would have been awkward as hell, but it was worth the risk though.
So have you been caught, like, doing it?
Not by my parents, but an old teenage boyfriend that I had when I was a teenager. His father just walked in on us. That was pretty awkward.
Yeah, I mean, doing it at home, like, when you're young, is basically a recipe for getting caught at some point.
Yes, but the weird part is when I was together with this guy, they had apartment behind their house, so
Okay.
he was staying there, and that's where he had a room. So we were not prepared for his father just to walk in.
I mean,
Like-
didn't he have to open, like, the front door and then the door to the room then?
No,
Or were
because
you,
it was
like,
open?
open?
It's a
Okay.
door in between the house and the apartment. So.
Oh, I see.
And it was so weird because they had a little dog and it used to sleep in his room, so he was just going to deliver the dog to sleep with us. And I mean, it was so awful. I was so embarrassed for a long time.
Oh shit, dude.
Oh.
I mean, did you have covers on, or was it just completely in the open?
No, I think we had some kind of blanket on or something, but well, I'm not silent at all, so I don't
Oh.
understand why he went in there in the first place. So, well, yeah.
Oh, that is unfortunate.
Yes.
Man,
very.
they're having a great time in there. What they're doing?
Oh my god.
Yeah, the thought process behind that must have been like denial or something.
Yeah, I think
I don't
so
know,
as
like
well.
you wouldn't walk in if you knew, right? Or would you? I mean,
That's just weird to do.
yeah.
Yeah. Like.
I mean, I could get it in the sense that if it was his daughter and like there are a lot of super overprotective dads,
yeah,
then I get it. But like in this case, nah, it's just weird.
And, yeah, just weird. Totally agreeing on that one.
Oh right, let's get back to the questions. I mean, I like that we're drifting off from them, but still, gotta get through some of them at least now that you've
Yeah.
prepared answers.
I've been a good girl.
Yeah, right. Oh, that sounded okay. Nice. If you if you liked someone but they had to leave for a long time, how long would you think would be worth waiting or not? I mean, it obviously depends on how strong feelings you have, but like, just say that you eventually now that you put it out, let's say that you eventually want the same things in life, and that's a big thing for you. How long would you wait?
It depends. If we are in the same place that we want the same things, but like the person has to join the army for some time or something
Yeah.
like that, or something, I think I would wait like a year, maybe. Depends on what he's gone for. Like if it's the
Yeah.
army and his tour is 1.5 years, I could probably wait if I know that the end game is us being together and doing the same things. But in the meantime, the period of say 1.5 years, we need to still be able to talk and keep each other interested in each other.
Well,
Like-
basically what you're referring to now is just long distance, like the standard of long distance.
Yeah.
I mean, if you wouldn't have that, say, how would it change if it was just like nothing for that period?
Just like nothing, saying nothing to each other, not speaking
Yeah.
to each other.
Yeah.
Oh no, Sandbrid.
I'm just switching it up on you to make it interesting.
Yes, I understand. I don't know, couple of months maybe.
Oh.
I don't know. I've never been in that position, like that you cannot talk to each other at all.
I mean, of course you had them, but it's a hypothetical one.
Yeah, I understand.
I'm thinking that usually when it's like that, it's probably you don't know, or like they're gone and you don't even know like how long they will be gone either.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, I mean, in this day and age, there's always communication, but
I had a friend who his girlfriend went to Greece to do like sailing stuff.
Yep.
And he waited for like a year because he thought she was just wanted to get out of her system, and then she came back and was like, yeah, I want to go back to Greece, and they ended up like breaking up because
that is really sad.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
really
that's
sad, 'cause
rip.
obviously waits
That's
for like
one
a
by
year,
one.
but you know, I guess that's what can happen. I guess she didn't know that she really wanted to do it until she came back.
It's a really
Yeah.
interesting thing to leave and get and go for.
Yeah, but I guess, and I kind of, well, I imagine at the time it was sort of, because I guess she's got like sailing stuff
Yeah.
in her childhood, and because it went to get like qualification or something like that, and I guess you'd think like, I'll just do a year because it's while they're young before they kind of like settle in your life, which is why some people might go to do things like that.
Yeah.
Because they were like together for a while, and then, but I guess obviously after going, she decided that she wanted more. It's just kind of ripped because yeah, spent a year waiting, and then it just obviously she says she wants to go back out. So
Yeah.
That's something like I do not want to wait for things in a long time, I guess. So if we're on the same page and we could speak together, I could wait a little bit longer, but if it's no communication, I wouldn't wait that long, I guess.
You would yeet.
Yeah.
I feel like those are the scenarios are always like the guy going away to the military, because those are always
Yes.
like the I guess the stories that you hear about, like, oh, she slept with blah 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 while her guy was away on the military, blah blah blah.
It's
like,
so typical.
Yeah.
Why don't switch it up? I'm going to the military.
yeah.
You need to wait for me.
Yeah. I don't get, like, you should just not be together then, like, for that. I mean,
Set each other free and see
yeah, I
what
mean,
happens.
like, if you're
Right.
going away, like, he might as
I
well
guess
die. I mean,
No,
it's the
what the
military.
fuck?
It's like,
yeah, but that's kind of a harsh outlook.
I
But
guess
you
that-
think the military is kind of finite because some people
Yeah.
usually don't
some
do
people
it
usually
for
don't
a
die.
very long time.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, but most people serve like a tour because I think it
Yeah.
happens more, and that's kind of like more common, and it's not like multiple tours. And
Yeah.
I think again, like if you're in a position that someone went off to the military, like you'd have had to have been with them for a certain amount of time to be willing to kind of
Yeah.
make, because like it's not like you'd be with someone for 2 months and they go, yeah, I'm fucking off now for like a year, and you'd be like, oh cool, I'll just wait, right? Because you kind of wouldn't have that,
Yeah.
you know.
I remember in How Much Mother they have like a rule that is like you don't plan stuff in your relationship that is further like ahead of time than you've been together already.
That's actually pretty good to just have that
Yeah.
mind, though. So, like, you wouldn't date someone for 2 months, as Johnny says, and just, yeah, I'm gonna sit there, wait for you. 1 year, okay, no problem.
Yeah. You just met, hooked up the day before.
Yeah.
Wait for me a year when I come back from the Navy.
It's like, nah, I don't think so.
Yeah. Okay, back to the questions. Oh, where were we?
Okay.
Fuck it. Let's just take one. How do you remember your first love?
Is it like the first teenage love or the first adult love?
Oh, I thought you were gonna go for child love before that. But no, you know,
Wow.
let's just take it in stages. So the first one is the first you've ever had feelings for. The second one is teen, and the third one is adult, I guess.
The first one I ever had feelings for, but not together with?
Yeah, you don't need to be together. It was a love. You don't. What you mean?
I
You're like,
don't know.
you're like, I get everyone I have ever had feelings
I
for.
mean, she's just clarifying if you meant like the first
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Okay, but I don't remember who I was in. Yeah, I do. I was in. I mean, this was In 7th grade,
Yep.
I was so in love with a guy in my class, but he wouldn't like me back because I was fat.
Sad.
I shouldn't laugh.
I like how you put it out so plainly.
Yeah.
Did he specifically say that? That'd be the worst.
Sounds like something a kid would do.
Yeah, that's true though. But...
Not directly to me, but to other people.
Oh, that is harsh.
Yes, but I got my revenge when I grew up.
Is that why you're all into fitness now?
No, I mean, like I met him out at a club, and he wanted to hook up, and I said no. So yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Nice.
So
The
yeah,
ultimate.
that's the first one. I liked him for probably 2 years maybe.
Yeah.
And that was in 6th or 7th grade, and when I got to 8th grade, like, middle school, is that the correct one in English?
But, the
In
school systems
Sweden,
are totally
that's
different. So just...
high school. But high school in England or like America is completely different, so fuck it.
Well, I think
Okay.
America's the same, but England isn't. So.
Oh,
Okay,
I see.
but I was like 12 when I got my first boyfriend.
Yeah.
And it was nice. We experienced a lot, so so that was the first boyfriend I had sex with. Yeah.
Not when you're 12, I hope.
Yeah, I think I was still 12. I was going on my
What?
15th year though.
Carina, what the fuck?
Yeah.
That
I
is
was
so
very-
early. Isn't that like
Yeah.
at least 3 years before you're allowed to?
Yeah, kinda. Or,
Oh no.
Yeah.
Cut that out.
The-
Sam.
I
The
don't
poli-
recommend it to younger people that listening to this one.
Like
This
Tobbe.
is after hours. Go to bed.
Yeah. I mean, at least you can't really get any consequences for it because you're both underaged. And then, like,
Yeah.
at least in Sweden, it doesn't work. Like, you can't do anything then because you're both
No.
underage.
Yeah, we were the same age, so
Yeah.
that was not an issue. So it was nice while it lasted. We were together like 8 months, which was a long time at that age.
Yeah.
And
I mean, that is a long time.
Yeah, and when we broke up, he broke up with me because he lost his feelings or something for me. He got together with my ex-best friend.
Oh, that is sad. Was it ex-best friend already, or did it become the ex-best friend by that?
No, it was kind of ex-best friend because she liked him first and I got together with him, so...
Oh, I
Oh,
see. It
payback.
all went full circle then.
You did the original cooking.
Yes, I
Yeah.
did! Oh my god, and I felt so bad.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You-
And I
she
got
got back at you.
payback. Yeah.
But was she together with him for as long as you were though?
No, that
Oh.
was just to piss me off because I still had feelings for him.
Oh.
So she just did it to hurt me back since I hurt her before that.
That is
yeah.
unfortunate for him though.
Yes, it is. And I was like trying to tell it to him because I was jealous.
Yeah, of
but-
course he wouldn't believe you.
Yeah,
did
of
he?
course
No.
I would. But yeah, no
Sounds
way.
like the typical
Yeah.
teenage drama that is in like a
Yes.
series or something. He doesn't
Definitely.
actually like you. He's just doing it to spite me.
Yes. It was absolutely like that. So it was no. And yeah, my first adult relationship was from when I was 16 to 21. I was
That's a long
engaged.
time.
Yeah, I was
Engaged too?
Yeah.
Shit, man.
Yeah. And well, I broke up with him after a lot of issues, I guess. He moved here from Stavanger.
Yeah.
So he had to build a whole new friends group and things like that. And he got friends and were hanging out with them. But every time I was with my friends, it was like, when are you coming home? And yeah, things like that. I wouldn't.
So he was a bit too codependent on you there.
Yeah, I think so. And the factory he worked on was shutting down. So he was also, the last year we were together home a lot. And
Yeah.
I just saw him all the time when I was home. And I just needed a break. So I kind of pushed for him to move back to Stavanger to get a job, and I was actually going to move to Stavanger eventually, but when he moved, I just felt relieved that he was gone, so I ended it pretty quickly after that one.
And I kind of feel bad for him for that. Like, you get why you'd feel like the way, but also like his life must have been like already bad, and then it just got worse.
Yeah.
But I really get where you're coming from. Like sometimes if
Yes.
you're with somebody too much, then it obviously could get too much.
Yeah.
It looks like we are running out of time, guys.
No, this
Oh,
was
no.
so fun.
Oh, that's
Don't you-
unfortunate. Maybe you
Don't you
should
want
be
us
back.
to, you know,
We
behind
should
the
have a
scenes?
volume 2
We
next time.
We can have a volume 2 for some other time.
Yes, that would be nice.
But this one is over now. So thanks everyone for watching or